I opened the last session that I used. I'm going to start by adding the footstep sounds here. So as you know, the right place to add sound effects is the actor mixer hierarchy, and I want to add the sounds to my sound effects player work unit. So I'm gonna press Shift I and I'm gonna add a folder. So here I have my footsteps folder. I'm gonna choose this one, and right here I can decide what I'm gonna do with it. So let's say for footsteps, what we wanna use is the switch container. So when I choose the switch container at the first folder, then he's gonna choose the random container for the subfolders, which means the sounds inside those subfolders are gonna be randomized, right? And we're gonna have a look at the switch container. So let's import those sounds. Right, so as you can see here, I have a switch container with 3 random containers. So let's try it out by just playing the first one. Second one, grass. Third one, water. Yeah, so when you click on the containers, you can see that we have a general settings here, and we can do the same variation in pitch that we did in Fmod by enable this button here. We just have to click on this dot 2 times, hit the enable, and we can choose a value for it. I was messing around with it, so let's choose something like this. So when we hit play, it might be hard to hear because it's a subtle thing. We don't want it to be very to stand out too much. Here in the play type, we have the same options as Fmod. We have the standard and the shuffle. So one thing that if you don't know what something do in Wise, you can click towards it and it's gonna give you a help view here. And so we have definitions. So it's the same thing, like, but if you didn't watch the previous Fmod video, I have I'm just gonna say that the shuffle prevents the last object to be repeated. You also have the sequence option here, but you can see if I choose this one, it's gonna change my symbol here. That means I'm using now a different container, which is a sequence container. So the sounds are supposed to play in order. But if you see, I'm gonna hit play my transport control here, and it's not working. So it's not working because when we create a sequence container, we have to populate the playlist here. So I'm going to do that in a moment. So let's focus and use random for now, and I'm gonna choose shuffle. So let's go to the switch container to have a look. The switch container has this option here, which is like a group. So for that to work, you can see that I hit play and nothing happens. So for that to work, I have to create a group. I don't have a group right now, so I'm gonna create one, and I'm gonna name it surface. This is like a parameter in Fmod, but in Wise it's called game sync. So if we come here in this game sync tab, we can see that we create a surface switch, but now we have to create switches for the different types of surface that we have. So we have grass, we have concrete, and we have water. So going back to my switch tab, I see here now that I have some objects, but those are still empty. So what you have to do is basically drag down the containers to the appropriate object. So now I guess we can play our switch and we're gonna listen to the sound that is assigned here, right? If we change, because we are changing the switches, and you have an option you have an option in Wise to choose a default switch, and you can choose between those trees, and I'm gonna choose concrete. That means that if the programmer didn't choose a default value for starting, we are making sure that some sound is going to be heard, right? The last step is to create an event for the footstep switch group. So I can just right click and I can choose new event, play. So I'm just gonna rename it as footsteps. As you can see here, actually I'm gonna remove this S, I don't think I need it. As you can see down there, I have a new event that is playing. So now I'm ready to implement that in the game. Just gonna drag this to my sound effect player. Actually, the last step is to generate a sound bank, but let's talk about this later. I'm gonna go back to my audio tab and let's try a different container for now. So in my sound effect player, I'm gonna hit Shift I. I'm gonna import the test folder, and let's say I wanna a blend container. So what's that? That's important. See what's gonna happen. Now I have a blender container. Let's hit play. So yeah, guys, what is happening is that everything's playing together, right? That's all that happens, and you have some options here to change the volume if something is too loud. You can change the pitch. You can even enable a pitch variation for some sound, like I showed you before. So we can even grab one of these sounds and choose initial delay for it. So let's say 3, the unit here is seconds, so I'm gonna delay the last one about for 3 seconds. So let's play it now. So we use a switch, we know what is a random, you use a blend, and let's use a sequence now, which is like kind of obvious what it is. So now let's rename test 2. I'm not really like focused on what type of sounds I'm dragging, because I just want you to know the mechanics of it, and like you can imagine how you can use that in your specific project, right? So later on we can do some tests with things that examples, more concrete examples for specific games. So okay, this time I have created the sequence container first, and I'm gonna add some files. Go to my sounds, we're just gonna add those two, import. So let's play it. Okay, so it doesn't play because I have a playlist, and I have to define which sound is gonna play first. So I'm just gonna drag my radio tune, and then I'm gonna drag my race car. So let's hit play now. Okay, why didn't play the race car? It's because in my play mode I choose step, so I have to choose continuous to keep it playing. Let's do something. Let's change the order here. Actually, I choose like some long files, which is like bad for an example, but it's okay. Let's try it again. I choose continuous, and we can choose loop or not. So it's gonna, now it's supposed to play 1 and 2 and stop, but we can also choose loop, and it's gonna keep going 1 2 1 2. So let's choose loop for now, and let's play it. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to talk about it today. As you can see, there are a lot of things and details that we can cover. If you want to cover a specific type of subject, let me know too. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.